Welcome to another episode of Listen to Us Rant About Movies. My name's Wes Ford.
And I'm Zach Harris.
And welcome to the show. If you like what you hear, you can find all of our episodes on iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube. What we like to do on the show is we talk about movies, we rant about movies, and we drink while we do it. And the beer we've chosen today is Two Brothers Nightcat Hoppy Wheat Ale.
Hoppy Wheat.
I've never had this before.
I have not either.
All right, let's give it a little taste then.
Yeah, let's give it a sip. I'm a fan.
Yeah, it's good. It's hoppy. That's hoppy, all right.
Oh, yeah, it's a hoppy baby. But I will say, in terms of hoppy babies, it's one of the more tolerable ones. I'm not usually a big hopsman, you know?
Yeah. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. But, yeah, I like this one. I like that it's a hoppy wheat ale. It's good.
Yeah. It's not quite like, I don't know if I've had something necessarily quite like it, you know? So that's nice.
Yeah, usually when you have the hops, you sacrifice the smoothness. I feel like this has both.
It's got the combo hops.
It's got the combo. Hop and smooth. On this episode, we're going to talk about some film news, what we've been watching since our last episode, including a discussion on Terrence Malick's Voyage of Time, and then a full review of Tom Ford's latest film, Nocturnal Animals.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a packed episode.
Got
lots to talk about. Oh, yeah. And it's going to be pretty good, so let's get right into it. Film news. Let's just talk about Rogue One right now. So this is coming out. We're recording on a Wednesday. It's coming out tomorrow night.
Wow, yeah. That's crazy.
It's getting some pretty good reviews. I feel like there's some negative ones too.
Yeah.
Like New York Times released one that was like saying, "Is this the end of Star Wars? Do we need more Star Wars?" And it's like, yeah, we need more Star Wars.
Whoa, bummer.
I'm not gonna say. Yeah, it was a very bummer article. But the general buzz is that it's a lot darker, it's grittier, and but it's a very fun addition to the Star Wars movies.
Nice.
So I'm really excited.
Yeah, I am too. Been very optimistic on it, and I'm just real pumped to watch it. I think it's gonna be good. Like a lot of the trailers, they're just getting me juiced, you know? I'm excited.
Yeah. The cinematography looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks really nice. And I'm also just very excited about like the beach, just like stormtroopers in the tropical. It's like, this is fun.
It's just something we've never seen before.
Yeah.
And well, I have no doubt it'll be better than any of the other prequels. You know, because it's technically a prequel. And I feel like it'll be way better than any of those. And it's kind of crazy. It's the first standalone Star Wars movie. It has nothing to do with the Skywalkers, you know.
Yeah.
It's a standalone story about these rebels finding these Death Star plans, which we kind of know the end result based on the movie, but I'm sure they'll bring some new problems into the into that whole thing. So I don't know. I'm excited, and I already have 2 sets of tickets.
Nice.
But
are you going tomorrow night?
No, I'm actually seeing it Saturday afternoon.
Okay.
First, that's
Nice.
So I decided to skip the crowds.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So early on Saturday, would be good. When are you seeing it?
Good. I think I'm gonna have to wait till probably like Tuesday to see it.
Oh yeah, because of your trip, that's gonna kill me.
Yeah, especially like driving back after that shoot, just being like, oof. Like, 4-hour drive, could be watching Rogue One right now.
Just keep saying that to yourself over and over.
We could be watching Rogue One. Pull off the sunset.
Yeah, but we're definitely gonna do a review of that
for sure.
For sure. So
gotta do it. Gotta get it.
Shush. That's my dog. On Friday, though, while everyone is seeing Star Wars, I'm going to see Manchester by the Sea.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that.
Yeah, it's nominated, which is a good segue because it's nominated for Best Picture for Golden Globes.
Nice.
Which the Golden Globe nominations were announced. Let me talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
I've seen actually more movies this year than most years when the awards come out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like most of them, I'm like, how did I not catch any of these? But I actually caught most of these. Only ones I'm dying to see that I know I need to are, I need to see Moonlight.
I saw Moonlight.
All right, we'll talk about that later.
We'll get into it.
I really want to see it, really bad.
You should definitely see it.
La La Land, I also want to see. I'm gonna see Manchester by the Sea coming up. So those are some big names. Casey Affleck nominated for Best Actor for Manchester by the Sea.
Yep.
He's getting a lot of buzz about that.
Yeah, you hear about this whole scandal too?
Yeah. Talk about the scandal a little bit.
Pretty big bummer.
Yeah, I know. So what's the story you've heard?
I've heard that two separate women who have worked on his sets have filed lawsuits against him, I believe, and he said, or maybe just one of them had, and he settled, and real quietly, and I guess he's just
he's a creep.
Just being a big creep, just saying creepy shit on set, and then there was one story about him just getting in. Forcing a girl to sleep in his bed and saying he'd sleep on the couch, and then she woke up and he was in his bed, and it's just hey, get the fuck out of here, dude.
The fuck, Casey Affleck.
Yeah, so that's a pretty big bummer.
It is a big bummer.
I like me some Casey Affleck. I don't want him to be a huge creep.
I know.
But if he's a huge creep, man, what a creep.
What a bad time to be coming out as a creep, though. You know?
Yeah, totally.
This movie, and there's all this buzz around it. Another movie I want to catch, but I just haven't been able to get myself to go see it in theaters is Loving.
Yeah, same.
Which I just want to see because I like the director a lot.
Yeah, all of his movies have been good.
Jeff Nichols, they're amazing. Yeah, so I'll see.
It's just one of those. It's a movie that's just same reason why I haven't seen Manchester by the Sea yet. It's man, this is gonna be real sad.
Yeah,
this is just gonna be
it's gonna be real
sad film.
Yeah, it's gonna be a downer. Yeah,
I guess Loving could be not as much of a downer.
I guess it's kind of a happy ending, right?
I don't know. I don't really know what happens. I'm hoping that nothing terrible does.
Well, I think they changed biracial marriage. They changed the whole thing through Congress, so I guess it ends up being a good story.
Least, yeah. At least some sort of triumph. I just meant I didn't know what happened to the characters.
Right, yeah. I don't really know either. But here's another good thing about the awards. Best Original Score, Arrival.
Nice.
Super happy about that because I love that soundtrack. It's so good.
Yeah, where's the score on here? I'm trying to look. What else was up? Oh, Moonlight, La La Land.
Yep, La La Land, Arrival, Lion, and Hidden Figures.
Pharrell Williams. Yeah, Moonlight score was good.
Dude, it seems like an amazing movie.
It's real good. I was very into Moonlight. Yeah, it's up for a lot. This is great.
Yeah, it is. It's getting a lot of attention.
Like that, the lobster snuck in there a little bit. That's pretty unexpected.
Yeah, a little lobster in there.
A little lobster love. Definitely into that.
By the way, I bought the Blu-ray. I rewatched it.
Oh yeah, nice.
Pretty good rewatch.
Yeah, it's a good flick.
I like the ending more now. By the way, than the first time. I didn't like the ending
better
before. I like it a little better.
Yeah, it's It was a thing the first time I watched it where I should have known better because I had seen like Dogtooth and stuff, but I was just like, man, this is like a lot.
Yeah,
this is a lot more than I thought it was gonna be. You know, it's a lot darker. Like
it's pretty.
And then I'm like,
it
what was
it gets real dark.
Yeah, it's like, what was I thinking? I've seen Dogtooth. Like,
yeah.
Deadpool.
Yeah. Okay.
Best Picture. Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, Deadpool up for Best Picture, Comedy or Musical, along with, let's see, let me scroll up to it. 20th Century Women, Florence Foster Jenkins, La La Land, and Sing Street. Well, La La Land's probably gonna win, but
yeah, probably. What if Deadpool won?
That'd be crazy.
Deadpool, Best Picture, winner. Like, what?
I mean, it's good, but I don't think it's like Best Picture.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's.
I mean, I like the movie a lot.
I haven't seen the movie, but it just doesn't seem like.
Wait, you haven't seen it?
Best Picture movie. No, I haven't seen Deadpool.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, I should watch it.
It's really funny. Yeah, it's pretty good. No, I just it's shocking to see it up there though.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Probably because it made a ton of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever see Sing Street?
No, I still haven't seen Sing Street.
Oh,
I heard it got added to Netflix too, right?
Yeah. Check it out, dude.
Yeah, I should watch it.
You should. I like that a lot. Real good.
Nice.
I think you dig it. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
One thing that I'm not seeing in here, real quick, is Silence. Nothing for Silence. No love.
Yeah, I think that might be pushed to the Oscars only or something.
Yeah, it's like literally nothing for Silence. Nothing.
Pretty crazy. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe missed a deadline.
Little Mr. Marty Scorsese comes out with Silence, and there's nothing.
Which, have you seen that trailer?
Oh yeah,
so good.
Yeah, I'm real excited for that one. Basically, just anything he puts out, real excited for. But it looks really cool, and also the fact that it's like his passion project. It's just like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah, this looks like probably one. It looks like it could be one of the best movies he's come out with in a long time.
Totally. Let me get my peepers on that right now.
Yeah. Got a little Mr. Robot call out there.
Oh, nice.
So.
I'm sorry.
It continues.
Eventually. Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta.
I've been liking Atlanta. Right.
This Is Us has gotten a lot of stuff too. Did you ever see that? I haven't seen that show at all.
I haven't either. Stranger Things, Westworld, The Crown.
I watched a couple episodes of The Crown.
How was that?
I don't know if it's gonna hold my interest. That isn't to say that it's like a pretty good show. It's super high budget. I mean, Hans Zimmer does the score.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Insane. It looks like very much it's top-notch movie quality Netflix show. But it's just a political drama about Queen Elizabeth taking the crown. So if you like political historical drama, it's for you. It's just not catching my attention for long. So
yeah, I get you.
There's other stuff for me to watch. But anyway, that's some of the stuff that's going on with Golden Globes. And back to the score for Arrival, it got disqualified for the Academy Awards.
Why is that?
Apparently, it's not significant enough. Or I didn't read the full article, but it said it wasn't impactful enough or something. Like something disqualified it.
Weird.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I've heard that happening because like they use samples or something, and it's like, oh, it's not yours, but.
I think it was one song that was pointed out that was sampled, or maybe that's what it was.
Bummer.
Yeah, big bummer. But, no.
What are you gonna do, you know?
And one
you gotta go down there and talk to them.
You gotta go down there. You gotta talk to him. You gotta change their mind.
Yeah.
One last thing. Aaron Taylor Johnson for Nocturnal Animals, best supporting actor.
Man, and let's just dip into that just for a brief moment.
Yeah. I
didn't think I was gonna like him in anything, but he was actually pretty good. Like,
he did an amazing job.
Yeah,
he really did.
Literally, I had no idea. Like I was telling you, went into that movie entirely cold, so I didn't know he was in it. And then I was like, shit, Aaron Taylor Johnson's in this. Damn it! Like, it's just like a sign that like he's gonna come in and just like make me like the movie less. Like right when it happens, I feel.
But he did great. He was barely recognizable, honestly.
Yeah, he was real good. He's good.
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's move on to our watch list. Why don't you start off? What's something you've watched recently?
I saw The Handmaiden, the new Park Chan-wook film, and it's incredible. I absolutely loved The Handmaiden. It was awesome. It's
heard good things.
For those of you who don't know, it's about a pickpocket who pretends to be a handmaiden to this wealthy woman, and she's in cahoots with a man who's coming to like marry her, and she's supposed to convince her to marry him so he can steal her money, basically. But it's a really interesting structure where it shows the first 45 minutes. It's a pretty long movie. Like the first third is all from one character's perspective, and then it switches and you almost watch that again, but like extended, and like you see things from different angles, and then after that like the story continues. So it's an interesting structure, and it's a long movie, but I didn't feel the length like at all. I was just like real into it the whole time. Super entertaining. Was a very, very big fan of The Handmaiden.
Heard it's pretty brutal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not it was I guess it's hard to say, I guess, but it wasn't as like gross as some of his other stuff, because I feel like Parky Chan's a big torture boy, you know.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a lot of his movies just have like really just like ugly, gross stuff in them. And I guess this time it felt better just because you weren't like loving it when it was happening, you know, because an old boy, it's like he's beating people up and you're like with him, you know. But it's not as much the case in this, so it doesn't feel as like celebratory of violence, I guess. Not that his movies are like violence is amazing, you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's a lot of violence in them, but yeah,
it was a little less gross than or made it seem more like real and impactful in this.
Okay.
But yeah,
nice.
I would definitely recommend it if it's playing around there. It's awesome.
I would love to check it out. Something I finished. Finished Black Mirror season 3.
Oh, nice, cool.
Yeah, it was good. It was. Have you seen any of
I haven't seen the last two, because there's one about the military, right?
Yeah. Oh, you mean talking about season 3?
Yeah. Or what did you say? Did you say 2?
Yeah, I said 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you started 3, right?
Yeah, I've seen. I think I haven't seen the last 2 episodes.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. There's one about the military. It's like a future society military version. Mm-hmm. The last one is about. Basically, it's about bees, the disappearance of bees, and how
that's cool.
Technology took over, replacing them with robot bees. And there's a crime involved using those bees, and it's like an investigation about that. Nice.
And that one's longer too, right?
It's an hour and a half, so it's like a movie. It's pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's really good. Overall, the show is great. I'm glad they came out with like a lot more episodes. They clearly had more funding moving to Netflix and everything, but it's a great show, man.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Gets real dark and weird at times. But it always has something to say, and it's always related to just beyond the horizon of the future, technology.
Totally.
And it's just like, it makes you be like, holy shit, this could totally happen. This could totally happen within the next 5-10 years. Mm-hmm. It's scary. But yeah.
What was your favorite episode from the new season?
I gotta try and remember them all. The last one was pretty good, but I don't know if it's my favorite. I think the one where the guy gets the implant in his head. Do you remember that one?
I think so, yeah.
Where he's got it's a new video game.
Oh, yeah, totally.
That one's pretty good.
Yeah, that one was good. I like that actor, too.
That was directed by Dan Trachtenberg.
Nice.
Who directed 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was cool. I think that was probably my fave, but they're all good.
Yeah, I really liked the first one with Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah, that was a really good one, too.
That one was amazing, and I also really liked whatever with like San Cupertino or whatever it is, where in the 80s dance club.
Oh yeah, that was an interesting one.
I really liked that one a lot because the whole time I was like, "What is this? This is an episode of this show? Like, what's going on?"
Yeah,
and then the ending where it's playing that song, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is selling me real hard. This is great."
Yeah. The 80s one was good. It was a very interesting way of how it revealed reality in that episode. It was good. But anyway, yeah. And another quick one I'll talk about. I watched Yoga Hosers.
Oh, whoa. How is that?
Dude, it's real bad.
Yeah.
It's real bad.
It looked pretty stinky poo-poos.
I kind of knew it would be, but I was curious because, overall, I'm a Kevin Smith fan,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's kind of Yoga Hosers. It's kind of an overproduced home movie that he made for his daughters, or his daughter and her friend. Lily Rose Depp and his group of friends, it's kind of like it is like a home movie that they made an inside joke and then released to the world, and they're like, "Get it?" And we're like,
"No,
yeah, no." I mean, I get what you're going for. You like want to help out your daughter, and you're making it for them, which is totally cool, man. But you shouldn't have released it.
Yeah,
like you should have just kept it for yourself. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
The practical and visual effects are terrible. Like real bad. Like worse than Tusk. Terrible.
So overall it was worse than Tusk?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Cuz that's like real. That's down there, man.
It's absolutely his worst movie.
Man. That's crazy.
There's not even any part of it that's like rewarding in any sense. There's nothing about it that's like, it's pretty bad, but it's funny to watch. Put it on, It's just...
Is it? And it doesn't seem like he's not doing. I guess she's too old, but like Robert Rodriguez made kids movies or like movies for his kids.
Yeah,
and it like almost felt like a separate thing. But this doesn't seem like it's like that. It just seems like it's a weird Kevin Smith movie.
It's like a really weird, almost like stoner teen bop comedy superhero type with a little bit of horror in there as well. It's a mash of different things. But it's almost like condescending to younger generations, I feel like. The main characters aren't likable at all. All they care about are being on their phones. It's like how an old man perceives younger millennials living out their lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. And it's like, haha, see, kids, they never get off their phones. And it's just bad. There's this whole weird Nazi plot going on, too.
Yeah, there's like, they're sausages, right?
Yeah, there's a Nazi who gets frozen, cryo freezed, underground in Canada, and before he gets frozen, he starts to make clones of himself out of sausages, and something goes wrong, and they all get frozen. And one day, the day that these girls are playing in their rock band, which there are 2 songs in the beginning of the movie, I guess trying to push these girls' like singing careers. It's like out of place and real weird. And they play this music, and it unlocks this guy from his cryo freeze. And God. These Nazi sausages start attacking. It's just bad. It's just really,
it sounds
really
pretty
bad.
Brutal.
Yeah. So, wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, skip Yogos or something.
Yeah, don't even watch it. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
What about you? What else you got on your list?
I watched or saw The Love Witch. Have you heard about this movie?
I feel like I've heard of it, but no, I haven't seen it.
I think Oscilloscope just released it.
Nice.
It's kind of like a 60s like pulpy like almost a Euro horror thing. It's very throwbacky. It like looks pretty spot on.
Nice.
Like old sort of like overlit kind of like hammerish type stuff, you know. Yeah, and it's just about this witch who in the 60s just like basically kills men with spells.
What?
It's pretty sweet.
It sounds awesome.
It's like pretty goofy, but it's like fun goofy. Nice. And it's honestly it's one of the better like throwback things that I've seen in a while. I feel like a lot of people go for it, and it's just like really self-aware and like right. Sometimes it's fine. Like I liked Black Dynamite. I thought it was really funny, but it was like in the context of like being a comedy, you know. But I feel like especially in horror, people go for the throwback thing, and it's always too self-aware and like trying too hard.
Yeah.
And not that this wasn't self-aware, because there's obviously some like hammed up like performances. But it was fun. My one complaint was that it was too long. It's like 2 hours long, and I feel like it's like a 90-minute movie, you know.
Yeah. It sounds like it should be.
Yeah. But that being said, I would still definitely say it's worth a watch, for sure.
That's The Night Witch.
The Love Witch.
The Love Witch.
Yeah, I think this is the director's first feature. Anna Biller. Or maybe she did another feature, like real low budget. Yeah, okay, her second feature. But they all look like, I watched one of her shorts, and like she has a very like distinct style. It's pretty interesting. It's not really like something everyone's doing, you know, which is cool to see.
Well, people are doing callbacks a lot, but
yeah, but I feel like it's like a different like no one's doing like this style.
This kind of way.
Yeah.
It sounds like a cool premise.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I would definitely recommend watching it for sure.
Okay, nice. Where can you like Blu-ray or?
It's in theaters, so I don't know when it comes out on Blue.
Oh, interesting. Soon. So it just came out.
Yeah, I saw it probably. When did I see it? 2 weeks ago, maybe. A week ago.
Nice. Love Witch. I watched Wiener Dog.
Oh, what'd you think?
I thought it was pretty good. It was pretty depressing.
Oh yeah, it's super depressing.
It's like super depressing. You saw it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like the directing a lot. I like the editing and the style that they went with. And I like it's very much a black comedy.
Totally.
Which I thought it was funny because of how dark it was, which I think was the point. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was good. I don't know how else what else to say about it, but yeah, I thought it was pretty decent. I don't know. People I think are giving it a lot of praise. I think a little more than I think it deserves, just because it doesn't really seem like something I'll ever watch again.
Yeah, I get you.
But for what it was, yeah, it's a pretty decent watch. I like Danny DeVito in it.
Yeah,
it was good.
Although,
some of the other stars in it.
Yeah, I think my one thing with the movie, I was a pretty big fan, but I do feel like it starts the strongest. Like, I think the first story was the best story.
Yeah, I agree, because it kind of just like descended from there.
Yeah, and I the dad is so funny when he's like taking the dog out. It's like, shit, come on, damn it, shit.
Yeah, that first story was the best part of the movie.
Yeah, totally. So I feel like it is a thing where it's slightly underwhelming at the end because you've seen the best stuff.
Yeah,
but
and then the ending is
like
just kind of underwhelming.
See, I loved the end. It's that last shot.
Oh, it makes me so like sad.
Yeah. Oh, I loved it though. Can we have a quick spoiler, real quick? Because I have a funny story about my son's movie.
Yeah, quick spoiler.
So if you haven't seen Wiener Dog, skip ahead like a minute or two. But so when we're seeing it, the dog gets run over by the truck.
Yeah.
And it's just like keeps getting run over by cars, and like people start laughing because it's hilarious. It's just like it just gets floored by like this huge truck, and then another car, and another car. And this woman, like, yelled down the theater. She's like, "This isn't funny!" and, like, stood back up and looked back. She's like, "How can you people laugh at this? This isn't funny! Like, you're sick!" Or just, like, something like that. I was, like, really offended that people were laughing. It's like, lady, this is clearly supposed to be funny. Like, you are not understanding this right
now. Yeah, like, my girlfriend would not appreciate that at all. Like, she's very much an animal lover.
Oh yeah, I mean,
and
it's rough for sure.
It's rough, but it's not real, and
I don't think
it is funny in a very dark sense.
I just don't think it's something to get up and yell at people during the movie about.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, because like even if you don't find it funny, it's clearly being played for comedy.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
So this woman was just like not having it. It was
that's an interesting story.
But anyway,
yeah. But yeah, it was good.
Yeah, solid flick.
What else you watch?
I saw Moonlight. Talk about that for a sec.
Let's talk about Moonlight.
Yeah, it's just like real good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like super solid.
Real good. Yeah, it's just like a really beautiful movie. It's just like, man, that just beautiful. It's real nice. Man.
I want to see it so bad.
All the performances are just like super good. Looks really nice. Script's good. It's just like I really just like have no complaints.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like best movie of the year. But it's just really nice. Just like a really, really good movie.
I think it'll make your top 10.
Yeah, I'd say it's a definite contender.
Nice.
Mahershala Ali is amazing. That guy's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in Luke Cage too. I think he's the bad guy in Luke Cage.
Oh yeah,
I feel like he's been in a bunch of stuff recently. I've seen him in something else too.
He's in House. Yeah, House of Cards. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's real good in House of Cards.
Yeah, that guy's a huge champ. There's some scenes in there with him that just like got me real good.
Is it like super sad?
Yeah, it's definitely sad, but it wasn't. I don't know. It's like it's just really beautiful at the same time. It's just like a really nice movie, even though it is really sad. And there's a lot of tragic stuff in it, but like.
It's beautiful.
I don't know. Yeah, it was somehow really nice when you leave. You're just like, that was just like really nice. I don't know.
Gotta check it out, man.
Yeah, you definitely should. You should.
I really want to. I'm just waiting for the opportunity. My only chance right now is, trying to rent it on iTunes.
Yeah, it's not anywhere there?
It's not showing anywhere here.
Bummer.
Maybe it will soon. Maybe it just hasn't come here yet. Regal and AMC will start offering showings of Best Picture winners and stuff, or Best Picture nominations.
Yeah,
which
totally.
I feel like it'll be nominated. So
hopefully,
maybe that'll be my chance.
If it's not, that shit's bogus. If that's not nominated, like, that is some bogus stuff. Yeah.
Cool, man. It has a good sound. It has a good score, because I think it's nominated for best score.
Nice.
What kind of music is it?
It's pretty subdued at times. Just kind of like.
So like electronic? Is it?
I suppose. I don't know. I honestly don't even like. I can't recall like exactly what it sounds like. But
yeah, it didn't really stand out to you.
No, but it like carries the emotion really well. You know.
Yeah.
It's like it's one of the score. It's a score that's like not necessarily like an invisible score, but it does a good job at supplementing the story instead of like being flashy. You know.
Yeah, which makes a good score, honestly.
Yeah, totally. But yeah. It's a definite real good flick, and
it's getting so many good reviews, and
I feel like it's pretty hard not to like.
Sitting at 99 on Metascore, like that's really really high score.
Yeah,
probably one of the highest this year. So, yeah, I've been waiting. Gotta check it out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I actually I tweeted at Nick Collins recently.
Oh,
Nick
yeah?
Collins was a guest of ours on a couple episodes ago. And he loved Moonlight too. And we kind of ended up talking like, maybe we could all get together for a little Moonlight review.
Oh, whoa, nice.
Yeah. He said
cool.
he'd love to come back on, so.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'd love to have him back on for that, if we can catch it in time, so. Right, if I can catch it in time, really. So cool, man. Another movie I checked out was Hell or High Water.
Oh, cool. How was that?
Yeah, it was good. I don't think I liked it as much as I thought I would. It kind of seemed like something we've seen before in the manner of what's the name of the movie?
Kind of like Cormac McCarthy-ish.
Yeah, like that, like kind of mixed with No Country for Old Men a little bit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what it kind of reminded me of, but like not as impactful.
Yeah, I get you.
Real solid script. I have no complaints about the movie. It solid story about cops and robbers in Texas. And about these guys who are stealing from these banks, and cops are after them, and I won't spoil the rest, but has a pretty good ending, and it's just good. Just a real solid movie, but it's not like it wasn't anything super special to me.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
good watch, but
good watch. Nothing super special. Definitely worth checking out. It's a good heist type movie, but yeah, it doesn't feel that original to me.
Yeah, I kind of got that vibe. It seemed like them doing like the style seemed like something I had seen before.
Yeah,
but I still wanted to check it out though.
Yeah, you should definitely check it out. You got any more on your list?
Got a few more. Let's see. Which one should I talk about? I watched Female Prisoner Scorpion Jailhouse 41. It was sweet. It's this Japanese series of movies, Female Prisoner Scorpion, or I guess Convict Scorpion, depending on where. But the translation. But pretty great. Stars Miko Kaji, I think is how you pronounce it. But Lady Snowblood. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. This is the second one in the series. I'd watched the first one like a month or two ago. Liked the first one a lot, and like this one maybe even more. It was they're real fun. They're short. This one's basically the first one's all about this girl who basically gets fucked over by the Yakuza, goes to prison, plots her revenge, escapes prison, murders people on said list.
Mm.
And it's awesome. And there's some weird surrealist stuff and like scenes that are real strange and kind of come out of nowhere in a fun way. And then this one is her and a bunch of prisoners being transported, and they get a chance to escape. And they like escape into the mountains, and they're like on the run from the prison guards and stuff.
Interesting.
It's pretty awesome. They're fun movies. There's some stuff in it that's hard to watch, just like a rape scene or two that I was like, all right, well, don't need to see this much. Like, cut away. But
it's a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, other than that, pretty great.
Nice.
I'm a fan. There's 2 more to watch. Beast Stable is the 3rd one, and then I think the 4th one's called 701's Grudge Song. So, excited to check those out.
How are these fairly new?
No, they were early 70s.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
Interesting. I got 2 more on my list.
Nice.
I watched the new Netflix release, Spectral. Came out just this past Friday.
Nice.
It was originally made by Legendary Pictures. It was going to come out to theaters, but I can see why it didn't.
Yeah.
It got purchased by Netflix and released on there, and it wasn't that great. I didn't like it. It's basically about... The whole movie is built on its premise, which is this military group in war-torn Europe comes across a spectral army, which they can't shoot. They can't shoot it with bullets, and they have no idea why these ghosts are attacking, and they have to figure out how to stop them. Honestly, it would make a pretty fun video game.
Yeah.
But that really is like, there's a big reveal at the end of what these ghosts are, which I won't say. But other than that, the plot is real thin. It is all premise, all show. You don't even know why they're fighting in Europe. When this is, I guess it's kind of modern to close to modern times. They're just there, which I didn't like because there is absolutely no connection to the characters at all.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about them. There's nothing that they set up for me to care about them, but you're just supposed to. Like, the main character is this scientist guy who gets brought into this military situation and starts to develop this tech, how to fight these ghosts, which sounds really cool. And it looks cool. But that's really all there is. So if you want to see kind of a somewhat high-budget military movie fighting these CG spectral ghost beings who can slam into tanks and you can't really shoot with bullets, might be for you. But maybe off the podcast I could tell you the spoiler if you don't care. But the ending's interesting. But yeah, I wasn't a huge fan for that reason. No depth whatsoever.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't go for movies that there's no development for characters, and I don't know. Not my thing.
Yeah.
So, after this, you should look up the trailer.
Yeah, I'll pull it up right now so I don't forget. What else do I got?
Maybe talk about one more, and then I'll talk about my last one.
Oh, I watched Lone Wolf and Cubs: Sword of Vengeance also.
How was it?
It's awesome. Big fan. I'd seen the Shogun Assassin, which is like the American version.
Yeah.
But and it's like cut down and like condensed into, fewer movies.
Yeah.
But I'm really digging the Lone Wolf and Cub for sure. And that crit set, Ooh, it's real nice.
Real nice.
Yeah.
Never seen it. I want to check it out.
Yeah, you should check it out, man. It's pretty great.
Heard good things. Speaking of Criterion, they just came out with the Before series.
I saw that.
Which I've never seen any of those either. But
oh, really?
No. How cool would it be to get that and just like watch those?
Slam them. Yeah, man. You're in for a treat. I still haven't seen the third one, so
Before Midnight.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. I don't know why I just like missed it, but I just never saw it.
Yeah, I just never caught the chance to watch those. But
I will say though, I don't mind the front cover, but I don't know how I feel about the cover art for them.
Yeah, I thought the cover art was not that great.
Yeah,
it's weird.
I guess I'll adjust my statement. I do know how I feel, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either. It looks weird.
It's real weird. It's
maybe it's about the content, you know.
Yeah,
I can pass on the cover if it's.
Yeah, it's like I'm still definitely gonna buy it.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's just like, whoa, what you guys do? Who? I don't know. It's weird.
Who approved this?
Yeah, the paintings of them look very strange. They like, it's like slightly off. I don't know.
It's like not quite them, you know.
Yeah,
doesn't quite look like them.
But it's not necessarily like stylized enough. It's just very weird looking.
Yeah.
Maybe just Ethan Hawke's making a weird face, and every one of them going like.
Yeah.
It looks like he's like making selfie faces.
Yeah, selfie like duck faces.
Yeah. Anyway.
Last movie I'll talk about is I watched Hush.
Oh yeah?
The horror movie. It's on Netflix. It was really good.
Nice.
I liked it a lot. It was surprisingly good. Surprisingly refreshing, and just had a lot more to say and did things differently than other horror genre type films of this type, which are, it's basically about this blind woman who's a writer who lives out in the woods by herself, and she gets plagued by this murdering imposter who just like messes with her and tries to kill her, but in a game type way. And of course she's deaf, so makes things way harder, and obviously calls for very interesting thrilling scenes where she can't hear him behind her and everything. But I don't know, it was good. It was a pretty good horror thriller of its type, and worth checking out.
Nice.
Yeah. It's almost had some callbacks to trying to be like slasher movies such as Scream, but completely its own thing. And yeah, I liked it. It was kept me on the edge of my seat, and gets spooky at times too, but not like, I don't know. It's hard to describe, but also don't want to ruin it. So
yeah, for sure.
Check it out.
Nice. Worth a watch?
Yeah, worth a watch.
Nice.
It's Hush.
Yeah, I should watch it.
And it's a lot of things online too are calling it one of the best horror movies of this year.
Nice. Yeah.
Is it?
What's it on?
It's on Netflix.
On Netflix. Nice.
Yeah. Hush.
Nice. Whoosh. I'm gonna pull that one up too, so don't forget. Nice.
Yeah. So that will conclude our what we've been watching segment. Zach and I both had the opportunity last night to watch a surprise showing, which I'm so glad you told me about this because I wouldn't have known otherwise. But Voyage of Time, an IMAX ultra widescreen experience version.
And boy, was it ultra widescreen.
Yes. It showed up in Regal Cinemas recently, just before Rogue One, and we were able to catch it. Here's my quick story of how my experience was. I was one of 3 people in this huge IMAX theater. That was it.
Yeah.
Wow. And I showed up at first, and I was the only one. And it was like 5 minutes before showtime. Like, I might be the only one here. This is kind of cool.
Yeah. Those other two people just had to show up.
But it was weird because all the lights were on and there was like this loud droning sound coming from the speakers. And I was like, is anyone even going to play this thing?
Yeah.
A minute before showtime, another guy walks in and sits down. He's like taking pictures. Like, I've never seen this empty before. I'm like, yeah, me neither. It's crazy. He sits down a few rows in front of me, and then it became showtime, and I'm like, all right, we gonna play this thing?
Yeah.
And then about 2 minutes late, it finally started. I guess maybe they were waiting for people. I don't know, but it finally started, and then as it was starting, an old man walked in. But anyway, Voyage of Time is director Terrence Malick's passion project. He's been trying to make it for like 40 years now, right?
It's crazy.
It's been his life project. And there are 3 versions of this movie. There's the one that came out in October, which is narrated by Brad Pitt. It is like 40 minutes long. And there's the version that's going to come out right next year, I think. It's out in some places you can see it, but I think the official version coming out next year. It's like a feature-length film, 35 millimeter, narrated by Cate Blanchett. And then there's this version, which I didn't even know existed until yesterday, which is the ultra widescreen version, which is not narrated by anyone.
Yeah,
it is just picture and sound. It is just an observation of the entire expanse of the universe.
Yeah,
of just music and nature, sounds of nature, and picture. And it was 45 minutes long. So Zach, what was your experience like?
It was good. I think it was pretty crazy that they showed it at like 11 p.m. So the only showtime was 11 p.m. So
for me, it was 10 p.m. That's all it was. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like definitely enjoying it, but also just like being like lulled into that sleepy time, man.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Like,
it was late.
Yeah, it was just like late to be watching like a very meditative, like slow paced, pretty like subdued, you know? It's like, ooh, just dozing off. I fell asleep for maybe like 1 or 2 minutes.
Okay. I will admit that I spaced out. I didn't fall asleep, but I spaced out for probably 5 minutes where I was just like, oh yeah. I was like just thinking about everything. I was like, oh yeah, this, because there's nothing really going on. It's just these images and sound, which in itself is very cool, but it is hard to watch late at night because
it was not the right time to screen that movie.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it though. I thought it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It was just like if you were given the power to observe the universe in 45 minutes and just see snapshots through this time period, what would it be like? And that's what it was like. It was very cool. A lot of practical effects. The space imagery was amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
I did have a couple of complaints though, which I didn't think I would have a complaint about this type of movie, but
yeah, I didn't either, but I do as well. Go.
Basically, for one, I thought there were too many. It bothered me that it wasn't all in order. Like I get kind of cutting back and forth a little bit, but there was one moment in particular where it like skipped way ahead of time, and like it skipped all of the dinosaur period and went from basically the beginning of life and cut to the girl in the field.
Yeah.
And I was just like, come on, like let it kind of, I want to see it in order. And then it went cut directly back to where it was. And it was just like, this is why'd you do that? It just felt weird.
Yeah.
And there was one other complaint, but I can't remember right now. So maybe it'll come up after whatever you have to say.
Yeah, my main complaint was I love that there's dinosaurs in it. It's good. Like, not complaining about the dinosaurs. But I felt like the shots, any shots with, like, CG animals were nothing like the shots with real animals.
Yeah,
and that was very, very obvious that it was CG. And it's like, obviously they're not filming a dinosaur. Like, I know it's not going to be real. But, like, I don't know, there were, like, the shots of monkeys and stuff just, like, wide in trees, like, slowly panning. Or, like, a group of elephants, like, just standing in a field. And it's just a nice, like, on a telephoto lens, and it's real wide. Of the elephants. And, like, then it's a dinosaur, and it felt like, here's a shot, and then the dinosaur, like, walks right up to the camera, just like, hup, dup, 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 and just gets up and goes, I'm a dinosaur! And then, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think that's what my other complaint was, is that the other shots look so good that in comparison with the CG animal dinosaurs, it lessened the image because the other ones look so good.
Yeah, and it was like they were showing it off or something.
And then the CG just looked, I'm sure it was limited on budget, which is fine, but it just felt out of place because it wasn't as nice, and it looked a little outdated. I don't know how old the CG was, or I don't know, but honestly, I thought the CG looked better in Tree of Life. The dinosaur in Tree of Life, which is older than this. Maybe maybe it's aged since then, but I don't know. I feel like that looks better.
For me, it just felt weird that like why don't you just have like a shot of like the dinosaurs like slightly silhouetted like walking, and like they're just like in the background, or like doing something, like I don't know, like eating food off a tree, or like chasing an animal. You know what I mean? It just felt like all the dinosaurs were like, and walking right up to the camera. Stop! Look at me! I'm a dinosaur. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it was weird to me.
You know, and at the same time, I felt like there wasn't even enough of the dinosaurs.
Yeah, totally.
I get what you're saying, but there's a whole part of history we didn't get there, which I would have liked to have seen like a predatory dinosaur thrown in there or something.
Yeah.
Maybe just like one attack of.
Maybe just a little dinosaur action.
Yeah, a little dinosaur. It's a great opportunity to throw in, a predatory dinosaur, just like simply just killing a smaller dinosaur, and that's it. Yeah. Just showing nature, whatever.
Totally.
Doesn't even have to be like all in your face or anything. Just just felt like it was only like one little group of dinosaurs, and that was it. And it's like, it's a pretty big. We're talking billions of years here. Like, where's the other ones? I don't know. Totally. It felt short-sighted on that end.
Mm.
But that's really my only complaint. I thought the Earth photography. Oh my
it's
god!
Amazing.
Like around the volcano stuff.
Yeah,
and
it looked so good.
Like over the water, and it looked amazing. And I was just thinking about while I was watching it, like just the practicality and logistics of getting this photography, because it's real. Like,
yeah, totally.
He had to travel all over the world to get that. No wonder it took so damn long, because it's
yeah.
He shot on the Arctic, he shot in the desert, he shot by volcanoes, he shot in the forest, oceans, every part of Earth. So, and overall it was very gorgeous, and the IMAX sound was solid.
Real nice.
Yeah, it had to be seen in IMAX, I think.
Yeah. For
that sound really made it for me.
Yeah, it was real good. When we left, this kid was behind us, and he was like, "Hey, were you guys just in Voyage of Time?" And we were like, "Yeah." And he's just like, "Wasn't there supposed to be Brad Pitt narration?" And we were just like, "Oh, that was a different version. That it wasn't in this version. They cut it out." And he's just like, "I thought this was the IMAX experience." He was like, "Why would they cut it out?" He just walked away. Just like did not understand why there wasn't. He's just like, I don't get it. I'm like, why is there no narration?
Yeah, if you hadn't told me that, I would have been very confused. I would have been. Yeah. If you hadn't told me ahead of time that this was a version without narration, I would have been like, when's he come in here?
Yeah, it's like 45 minutes into the movie. No narration, just yes. And thus the voyage of time was concluded. Just right at the end.
I have one more minor complaint, which is wasn't a fan of the title card.
Oh, really? I liked the title card.
It looked very generic. It was just digital text on a very generic background. I expected like
there were those like weird swirling things.
I wanted it like over space or something like.
Fair enough. I thought
almost like 2001: A Space Odyssey over like a horizon. I don't know. Like I expected something more epic, and it was just like planted on there. I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of just like starts and it's like Voyage of Time.
Yeah,
it's just completely silent. And then
I was like, okay, but that's very, very minor.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
definitely worth
cool.
seeing.
It was cool.
Liked it a lot more than Knight of Cups.
Which I'm tempted to watch. I have it on my Amazon Prime watch list.
Oh yeah, I mean you should watch it.
Should I?
Yeah, I mean it's worth watching. It's a Terrence Malick movie.
I just feel like I know exactly what I'm gonna get in the end.
Oh yeah, that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
But then you'll know, and you'll go, I saw Knight of Cups.
Yeah.
I was shocked it wasn't good. Or maybe you'll like it. I don't know. I know people who liked it, but I didn't care.
I feel like he's becoming like a parody of himself now, you know?
Yeah, which is why this project was good, because it just like is what he should be doing.
Yeah, that's what like when you get rid of the nitty-gritty and everything.
Yeah.
When you zero down on all of his films, this is Terrence Malick.
Yeah. All it was missing was some beautiful girl like dancing on a beach or something, or feeling grass.
You got the little girl in the field.
You got the little girl in the field, which is pretty darn close.
It's very Terrence Malick.
Yeah.
The little girl in the field.
Yeah.
And the pan ups to the trees with the sunlight going through the branches.
Mm-hmm.
So Terrence Malick.
Terry. Yeah, classic Terry.
But yeah, good for him though. It's cool. I watched the credits after, and it's just a lot of people involved. Like, he had all these scientists prove everything, and like, it's very scientific, the whole thing. So, good for him. That's cool in itself.
Totally.
That it's approved by all these doctors and scientists and researchers, and that they all had their input on it. It's very cool. All right, well, so let's move on to, shall we move on to Nocturnal Animals?
Sure.
All right.
Let's do it.
Nocturnal Animals review starting right now.
Do you ever feel like your life has turned into something you never intended?
I'm worried about you. Are you sleeping? You scared me the last time we talked.
You know me. I never sleep. My ex-husband used to call me a nocturnal animal.
I didn't know you had an ex-husband.
I've been thinking about him a lot lately. And then recently he sent me this book that he's written. It's violent and it's sad. And he dedicated it to me.
Did you love him?
I did something horrible to him.
What are we gonna do?
It's a question of how serious you are about seeing justice done.
Don't do this. You'll regret it.
That was from the trailer of Nocturnal Animals. It is the new film by Tom Ford. And the plot summary from IMDb reads, an art gallery owner is haunted by her ex-husband's novel, a violent thriller she interprets as a veiled threat and a symbolic revenge tale. We're going to talk about our brief thoughts on the film, our opinions, and then we're going to go into a separate spoiler segment. This movie stars Amy Adams, Jake Gyllenhaal, and I don't know if I want to spoil the rest, but if you want to look up the cast, you can look up the cast. Yeah. So, Zach, what are your initial thoughts on Nocturnal Animals?
It took a while to marinate with me. I like left and I was like, gonna need to think about this one.
Yeah.
And I'll say that like it's really pretty and looks good, and I really liked the editing. There's some really interesting editing and a cool structure. It's a really entertaining movie, and I was like really into it while watching it, but I'm hesitant because I don't know if I agree or even know exactly what it's trying to say. I think there's a few things in it that like are potentially problematic, and I like don't know whether it's condemning these things or it's just what it is, or I don't know. I'm not sure I can get behind its message, basically.
Yeah.
It's a really ugly movie, which I wasn't really expecting. It's very pretty looking, but like ugly.
Ugly in the sense of...
Yeah, it's like mean-spirited.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I totally get what you're saying. I would say that for me, I kind of felt like this was two movies in one.
Mm-hmm.
And I only cared about one half of that.
Yeah.
I only cared about one of those halves.
Which half?
Everything with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Mm.
Everything with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
His story. I just want to see a movie of that.
Yeah.
Amy Adams did her part. You know, she's a great actress. I love Amy Adams. But I felt like the script with her end of the film was not quite there. I felt like the movie tried very hard to be a little more than what it actually was. It was a little pretentious at times, with no clear message, like what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand exactly what it's trying to say with Amy Adams' character.
Yeah, that's my issue with it too.
Because you're seeing a side of her with her life as kind of like this self-absorbed artist, and she's reading this novel that her ex-husband wrote, which is like a thriller crime story, which that portion is the part that I care about because it was really well directed.
Yeah, and I mean it's a mystery too. It's just like intriguing, like what's. And
it's a mystery, and it was very thrilling and very entertaining to watch, although dark and yeah, it was very dark. But her side, I'm not really quite sure like what the point of that is. It just felt like a combination of ideas that didn't have a clear end result.
Yeah.
And that might be that might be because maybe he's an inexperienced director. He's only directed one other movie. Mm-hmm. He's very well known for his fashion industry.
Yeah.
He's a fashion designer, very well known in that aspect, but which bleeds into this movie a little bit. But you know, I just it didn't quite hit home for me.
Yeah.
And I overall, I think I liked it, but it didn't quite. It wasn't a home run.
Yeah, I'd agree. I thought it was a really good watch. Like, I was really invested the whole time.
Yeah.
And it was really intriguing, and, like, I was very into watching the movie. But when it was over, I was like, whoa, yeah, all right. And I left, and I was like, that was good. And it's like, was that good? Or, like, did I just, like, am I ever going to be able to watch this movie again? Not that a movie necessarily has to be rewatchable. I mean, that definitely adds value for me. But
yeah, of course.
It just, I don't know. There's a lot of things that are really great about it.
Yeah.
But in the end, I felt like I just didn't know. I didn't know if it was condemning some of this stuff or just like I just have no idea what they're trying to say with it.
Yeah.
Because it's basically just a revenge movie. And, like, I personally really liked the concept of her reading the book and, like, filling in her...
It's an interesting concept, yeah.
Yeah, and the editing was definitely my favorite thing about the movie. I thought the editing was really cool.
Yeah, the editing was solid, yeah.
I will say that it started and there was a lot of really weird stuff. And I got very excited by that, and it seemed like they kind of like had to jazz up the beginning, and they made it weirder because maybe it wasn't working, and then that style kind of like fell off a little bit.
Yeah. So
I would have liked it if they kept. There are a lot of like very jarring cuts, like when she pulls up and the light flashes and it just like cuts into her eyes really quick, going and then cuts back like split second, and
yeah.
There's like weird jump cuts of like almost like alternate takes, you know?
Yeah, there was...
Or like it's a different focal length or something strange, and it's like, ooh, this is kind of cool. This is weird. And like, I liked all the cuts like between stories, like cutting on actions and movements.
It was very
that, like,
experimental and playful with the cut.
Yeah. Which was really cool. I liked that aspect of it a lot. But yeah, it just is like... If it's saying what I think it's saying, I can't get behind it. You know what I mean? Like, so,
what do you think it's saying?
I don't know. It just seemed like I didn't think Amy Adams was like a bad person in it. You know?
Right. Yeah.
And I don't want to get too much into it because I feel like it's a spoiler thing.
Yeah.
But I just felt like it was very like macho.
Hmm.
And it was, like, pretty condemning towards her character and, like, mean towards her, like, unnecessarily so. And I don't know if it's making a comment about that. And because it also kind of had this, like, did you pick up this, like, weird, like, meta movie level? I feel like it was kind of, like, playing on, like, her reading the book and, like, you watching a movie and the movie within the movie and the book. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I definitely played with that, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, I don't know if it's, like, somehow making a comment about, like, the way, like, females are perceived, like, in regards to movies, or, like, I don't know. I just don't know what it's trying to say, because to me it just seems like a guy bitching out a woman because, like, she didn't agree with him. You know? Like, and just, like, being really mean, you know?
Yeah, being really mean about it. And, like, writing, like, this revenge tale about her in a weird way.
Yeah. And it's like there's definitely interesting stuff and cool ideas in the movie. But I don't know if it's making a comment about that or if it's just saying that.
Yeah, yeah. All right, well, let's move into spoilers.
Cool.
Starting right now.
Nobody gets away with what she did.
I just want to say that I couldn't get enough Michael Shannon.
Oh, he was amazing. He stole the movie completely. He was absolutely incredible.
He stole the movie completely. I wanted that. Every scene with him and Jake Gyllenhaal's storyline, I loved. I loved that part. I loved everything that they were doing. I just want to see more of that.
Yeah. To me, though, I will say I would have watched it. I think this movie could have been longer. Like, I would watch more scenes of them. But for me, I think the most interesting aspect was the fact that Amy Adams is reading the story and, like, filling in her. You know what I mean? Because it's, like, about reading to an extent.
No, yeah, no, it was interesting. That's interesting.
But
it's a very interesting it adds a whole other layer to it, which is cool. And I like that. But it's very, like you're saying, it's hard to pinpoint this movie. It's hard to, like, really read it on, like, what it's trying to say, like, what it's trying to comment on. And I think honestly that comes down to the director and the final direction of the film. Like, maybe it's purposefully supposed to be deceiving. Maybe we're not supposed to know the clear objective. Which in a way, I guess, that's fine, but I left kind of not completely satisfied because I was not sure what I was supposed to feel,
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. The ending was not satisfactory to me at all. I'm starting to get more and more annoyed. This is the thing I'm feeling lately is I'm starting to get more and more annoyed with films just ending with no actual wrap-up ending, like not an actual third act. There's no conclusion. They just cut it. And to me, I feel like it's starting to become a trend to where sometimes that works. Sometimes it's like maybe you're supposed to develop it for yourself, but I feel like it's also a cop-out, and it can be lazy. Because I want to have a story that gives me a beginning, a middle, and an end. And that is always more satisfactory than 2 acts and leaving you open with mystery. Sometimes it's effective, and sometimes I like it. But I've noticed it more and more and more in movies.
It's becoming a thing.
It's becoming a thing, and it's just I feel like it's a cop-out, and I feel like it's done to follow a trend, and it's kind of lazy because it's like I don't need to develop. I don't need to write this ending because they'll figure it out, and it'll be cooler in the end if they don't know. I think that's bullshit.
I will say though, for me, I thought this is one of the movies where that ending worked because I wouldn't say that I was satisfied with the ending, but I don't think you're supposed to be because the whole time I definitely just want to see her talk to Jake Gyllenhaal the whole movie.
Yeah,
boy, I need to see the scene of them talking, and I'm sure when she's reading the story, she's like, I need to talk to him, right? You know what I mean?
And he even emails her back, and it's like,
yeah. Well, it's clearly part of his plan.
Yeah,
because he's just fucking with her.
So he's just being a dick. It's just literally just like a revenge plot.
Yeah, and so it's like the ultimate end where it's like you'll never be satisfied. Fuck you.
But what does he get out of that? It's kind of like it's a childish thing to do.
It's a very childish thing, and that's where it comes back to I think that end works for the story, but do I like this story of this woman just getting fucked? And just having a really rough time? Do I like this? I don't know. Not really.
Yeah, is that the point? It's just a revenge tale if she just gets fucked over because relationships are complicated and she made maybe a dumb decision, but she made a decision she felt was right for her.
Exactly. It's maybe she didn't handle it the best way, but I mean, as an audience member, you get scenes of her clearly wrestling with the fact that she didn't handle it the right way, and then just to see her get fucked, and then it's man, he's standing her up, we're never gonna know, and then she's like, I'm never gonna know, shit, and then the movie's over. It's
but here's the thing, if you're going for that, okay, if you're going for her to get fucked over, go full in, go take it even further, so she gets stood up and her life is ruined now. You know what I mean? Take it a step further because it's just not quite. It's just not satisfactory in any way. It's not satisfactory in any means because, she's just left. She's just left there, and it's almost just so you did this whole thing. You wrote this book. You got her out there just so you could stand her up at dinner. Good
I
job,
think it's less.
Guess,
I think it's just the more that you'll never get answers.
Yeah.
For her. I don't know. It. I think it's intentionally unsatisfactory. I mean, which obviously doesn't make for a satisfactory ending. But I can see why it was that way. Whereas other movies, like you're saying, I feel have been doing this, and it's just that ending was lame. I didn't feel like this one was necessarily lame. It just I just felt really bad at the end of the movie, and basically just like didn't want to feel shitty and was like hoping that there would be some sort of catharsis, and it's like, no, there's not.
Yeah, which I guess such is life, but
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's an interesting movie for sure.
What'd you think of the opening credits?
I'm trying to remember.
With the naked women.
Oh yeah, of course. I thought it was actually hilarious.
Yeah,
it was a very, very bold choice.
Very bold choice.
At the very beginning, and maybe that's kind of his artistic fashion side bleeding in there, trying to show quote unquote art. I don't know what he's trying to say with that.
That was kind of my I think visually it's interesting, and like it definitely like got me like, whoa. Was not expecting this at all. I'm definitely intrigued in this movie right now, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it felt like it felt like there was no point to it for me. It was like, are we supposed to just be like laughing at these old women? Or
like looking back after watching the movie, it's like there was no point to that. There was no point to that.
Because it's like it ties into her gallery.
Yeah, it's part of her gallery, but
they never talk about who she is as an artist, and they never discuss like
what her art is about.
Yeah,
like, what does she do with her art? We don't know.
It's like, how about there's just like one scene of her talking to someone about her art at that party?
Yeah, she's just an artist. We don't know what her art is, though.
It kind of just seemed like a fuck you from the director. Because I remember he got like flack because it was just like, yeah, everyone's just like super beautiful in A Single Man. Because that movie's just like all about aesthetics. It's just an aesthetic fest.
I haven't seen it. Is it really like?
I remember not thinking movie? it was. I didn't dislike it, but I just was like, oh, it was really pretty, and it was clearly like that's what they were focusing on. Yeah. Everyone's a hunk. And the movie's a hunk because it looks really pretty.
It's a movie of models and beautiful people. And that could have been like his own.
So like disjointed. I guess I was into it if there was going to be a reason behind it, or if it wasn't just like this is weird, or it could be like something positive. But when it just feels like a personal thing or just something in there for no reason, it was kind of like, it was like too bold for no reason, you know?
Yeah, I think that's, in the end, that's kind of what we feel about it, is there was no purpose to it other than to be bold. And which is lame.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever watch it again, but it almost is worth a second watch to kind of understand it again. But I don't know if I'd ever get any more clarity out of it.
Yeah, because I don't. It's just hard to read. I need to read like interviews with the director or something. I haven't read anything about it, so.
Me neither.
It just I just don't know what he's going for, and I feel like that heavily influences what I think about the movie, because I guess not, though, because at the same time it's like it's not coming through. If you're meaning something, it's not coming through.
And that's kind of the point. Like, if you're trying to say something, then we're supposed to know it, you know?
Yeah, your message is lost.
If you're not, then that's your fault, you know, for not conveying that better, because if I walk away not knowing, that's your fault.
Yeah, it's like, because is it just a revenge movie? Because if it is, it's like the most harsh revenge movie I've ever seen. And it's like, I'm not saying like Amy Adams is like the perfect person and does nothing wrong and is amazing, but like,
no, she's definitely imperfect. She's definitely not.
I just like don't need to see the shit get kicked out of her emotionally for 2 hours, you know?
the same time, she's kind of I mean, she's definitely a shitty person on herself because she cheats on him and has that affair with handsome hunk. What's his name?
Yeah. Army.
Yeah, Army Hammer. And then that whole part of her having the abortion. So they definitely make you feel like she's done some shitty things.
Did she actually have sex with Army Hammer though? But while they were together?
Well, she straight out says that the baby, at least that she's having an abortion of, is Jake Gyllenhaal's baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was made clear. So I guess Army Hammer was just there supporting her, but she was aborting the baby behind his back because she didn't want to be with him anymore.
Yeah. Which, like, you got to talk about that stuff. It's not a cool move, but
again,
also, like...
shitty, but yeah.
But also, like, I don't know if that justifies, like, this emotional trauma that he's causing about, like, our daughter was alive and then got brutally raped and murdered. Like, you know what I mean?
Here's my question, though. If she aborted the baby, who's the daughter that she calls? That one scene where she's reading the book and she calls her daughter and she goes, I'm just checking in on you. And she's only there in that one scene. She's naked.
No, that's I completely forgot about that scene. Is that supposed to be... Is that implying, I guess, that it's Army Hammer and her daughter?
But I don't think so. I think that would be her and Jake's daughter. And then, side note, Army's cheating on her, too.
Yeah, everyone's just a dick.
Yeah, everyone's a dick.
Except for Michael Shannon.
Everyone's a bad person.
Yeah.
No, everyone's a dick. Everyone's a dick in the whole movie. Except Jake Gyllenhaal.
Which is kind of the problem.
Yeah.
Is like... he's only seen through his own voice, I guess, and... Well, he's seen through the book and through her memory, but... He never really does anything bad the whole movie, and he's just like...
Yeah.
It's like, oh, poor Jake Gyllenhaal. Like, she wanted other things. I don't know. It,
No, but sorry, going back to the daughter part, though. So I don't understand, like, if she aborted the daughter, whose daughter was that?
That's a really good point. I completely forgot about that.
It's never explained. She's never in any part of the movie ever again.
Yeah, that's weird. And I remember they mirror... It's like right after they find the dead bodies, too, right?
Yeah.
So I remember it's like the daughter's on the couch.
Yes.
And it cuts the bed and they're like in the same position or whatever.
Yeah. And she's also a redhead, so there's the connection there.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know. I forgot about that.
Very weird.
I did think that him discovering them at the abortion clinic was like a little, like, this is a little much.
Oh, yeah. Like, he was standing there in the rain and everything.
Yeah, it's like, it's raining and she's like hugging him. And it's like, oh no. And then it's like standing there in the rain, like brooding, angry.
And then,
all right, like.
That's the end of that.
Yeah, it never cuts back to the flashbacks again, right?
Which makes for a dramatic shot in a trailer, but nothing ever else happens there.
It just seemed like there could have been a little more of that, or like him finding out in a different way. Felt pretty melodramatic.
Yeah.
Like, why is he showing up there if he doesn't know that she's pregnant?
It's kind of a messy movie. It's kind of messy.
But it also comes back to, like, I guess that's not necessarily messy intentionally, but, like, the thing with the daughter, I feel like is thrown in there specifically to be like, wait a second. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what's real and what's not, maybe?
Yeah, like, how what's the
it's
story?
It's very clear to decipher which is real and what's not, because everything that's in the novel is in a completely different place.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
But, like, why even have that in there? I don't know. This is weird now. I completely forgot about that daughter.
Yeah.
It's throwing me off.
when I realized that, I was, it threw me off. I was like, what? Why? It's just so weird.
Yeah. I do think visually it was really cool. And
it was.
It's a really good watch. It's very, and it's an intriguing watch. I'm glad I saw it in the theater. But
yep, in the end, that it comes down to it was a very entertaining watch. Very entertaining. Especially with the novel scenes.
Yeah.
And talking about some of the performances, which we mentioned earlier, Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
Did a fantastic
surprisingly
job.
Good. Yeah.
He was fantastic, and I feel like I can now think of him as a serious actor because that was impressive. It was.
Yeah, he was good.
He really swallowed himself up in that character. It was good.
Mm-hmm. Definitely a lot better than when he was in Godzilla.
Yes.
It's just like, it's usually just like, oh, this movie's cool. Oh, God, no. Get out of here. Like, what are you doing here? You're in the wrong movie, leave. But no, he was actually really good in it. It was surprising.
Yeah. Yeah, he was good. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, man.
I don't really either. Michael Shannon's great.
Oh, he's amazing. He's amazing.
It looks really pretty. The editing's cool. It's very entertaining, but I don't know if I'll ever watch it again. Or maybe if I read some interview with the director or something, I'll watch it again where I can assess it better. But
I think probably the most effective film making scene was the scene where their car gets run over on the side of the road and they get kidnapped. That's so effective. So effective. That's one of the parts that really got me into the intense and into the movie. Very good tension making filmmaking right
Totally.
there. It's just great. I just want to point that out. That was awesome. So let's just what would you rate this movie?
I think I'll give it a 3.
Yeah. I give it a 3.
Yeah, I guess. It's like...
Yeah.
It's like, it's a movie that I'll give a 3 and then say, go see it.
Yeah, it's a... Yeah. Usually when I give a movie a 3, it's not like I'll say, hey, go see that. But, yeah, it's just it's a 3, and in no way like that. I mean, the performances are fantastic. The editing's fantastic. Some of the cinematography is great. The editing is just amazing. But in the end, you've had a good watch, but you're not quite sure how to feel, and you're not quite sure what it's trying to say.
Yeah, and not in a good way. Sometimes it's like, hey, make what you will of this. But it's like, make what I will of this, really mean-spirited revenge thing. You know? I don't know. It just seems like clearly Jake Gyllenhaal is, held up and Amy Adams gets fucked. And it's like, what do I make of this? Is this just the story and that's it? It's just a story? Or, are you saying something bigger with this?
Should I laugh at Amy Adams because she did these bad things to hurt him? Or should I feel bad for her because she's human?
Yeah. I felt bad for her. And it's just
I did too.
Yeah, and I just don't know. It's is this trying to say something about what's going on, or is this just what you think?
In the end, honestly, I it's fine that it ended there, but I would have honestly at least liked to see maybe Jake Gyllenhaal standing at the door or something, and then cut.
Yeah.
That would have been a little more satisfactory. Just the fact that he was even there. Or something. a note passed from the waiter. This person called. He's not coming, or something.
Yeah.
Instead of just cutting with her waiting. After so long, we wait like... She's waiting for like 5-10 minutes. Well, we watch her for like 5 minutes on screen. Yeah. But it's like a long period in the movie. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I rated a 3.
Yeah, I think I'm going 3. Yeah. It's definitely a good watch, but...
And it's not even like a movie I would put way down on my list of movies this year, you know?
No, because I had a really enjoyable time watching it for such an ugly movie. Yeah. Like, it's like real dark and like fucked up, but like, it was good, you know?
Yeah. It was very entertaining.
Yeah.
Very thrilling.
And it didn't even like... necessarily, even when I left, like I was still like, yeah, that was good. Just thinking about it over time, just like, wait a second, like, what was this, and like, what's that, and like, is this like a anti-abortion message? Like, is this some weird like male dominance thing? I don't know. It's just
is it just simply revenge? Yeah. Is it kind of? Is it stupid that he's doing revenge because she's, you know, a normal human being? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. And that's kind of the issue, I think. That's my issue.
And if it's just art for art's sake, that's stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just like avoiding your intention on when you made it. Like, clearly you were driven to make these choices. Clearly you think something about this piece, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, like, what's your opinion on it, you know?
Yeah, I'd be curious to hear.
So, alright, well.
Alright.
That'll pretty much wrap it up.
Couple of 3s for Nocturnal Animals.
So that'll wrap it up for this episode. You can always find all our episodes on iTunes, Google Play, Podomatic, YouTube. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at LTURAM Podcast. And feel free to email us at listentousrant@movies@gmail.com. And that's it. Zach, another good episode. We'll be back for a review of Rogue One in the coming weeks. So stay tuned. Until next time, Zach.
Until next time, Wes.